Things are quickly getting out of hand, and I need you to understand the magnitude of what just happened. For the first time in history, an American F-35 stealth fighter jet has been hit by enemy fire. Hit an F-35, the most advanced combat aircraft ever built, the $80 million invisible jet that was supposed to be undetectable, untouchable, invincible. Iranian air defenses shot it. Let that sink in for a moment. The F-35 Lightning II, the crown jewel of American air power, the aircraft that defense contractors promised could penetrate any air defense system on Earth, the plane that justifies a $1.7 trillion program, the most expensive weapons system in human history, was hit by Iranian anti-aircraft fire and forced into an emergency landing at an undisclosed location in the Middle East. And here's what makes this even more insane. Donald Trump said today that all of Iran's defenses are destroyed. All of them, destroyed. And within hours of that statement, Iranian air defenses that supposedly don't exist anymore shot an F-35 out of the sky. I'm just giving you the facts here, folks, about what's actually happening. I'm trying to cut through the propaganda and the lies coming out of the Trump regime and just tell you the truth. And the truth is that everything we've been told about this war, about American military superiority, about Iranian weakness, about the effectiveness of our stealth technology, it's all falling apart in real time. Let me show you what's happening. Here's what we know, and this is coming from CNN, not from some random source, from CNN. An American F-35 appears to have been hit by Iranian anti-air fire during a combat mission over Iran. The aircraft managed to make an emergency landing at an undisclosed location in the Middle East. The pilot is stable. The incident is under investigation. Let me break down every element of that report because every word matters. Appears to have been hit. That Pentagon speak for was definitely hit, but we're not ready to fully admit it. When the military says appears to have been, they're managing information, they're preparing the public for confirmation while maintaining deniability, but make no mistake, that plane was hit. Emergency landing at an undisclosed location. An emergency landing means the aircraft was damaged enough that it could not complete its mission and return to its intended base. An undisclosed location means they don't want anyone to know where this happened, possibly because the extent of the damage is worse than they're admitting. The pilot is stable. Thank God the pilot survived. That's the one piece of genuinely good news in this report. But stable is a medical term that means alive and not getting worse. It doesn't mean uninjured. It doesn't mean fine. Stable means the doctors have the situation under control. The incident is under investigation. Translation. We need to figure out how this happened so we can spin it appropriately. That's the reality behind the carefully worded Pentagon statements. An F-35 was shot, it's damaged, the pilot is injured, and nobody wants to admit what this means. Let me explain why this single incident is so catastrophic, because most Americans don't understand what the F-35 represents. The F-35 is not just an airplane, it's the embodiment of American military technological superiority. It's the justification for decades of defense spending. It's the proof that American engineering is generations ahead of any adversary. The F-35E's stealth capabilities were supposed to make it invisible to radar. Invisible, enemy air defense systems weren't supposed to be able to see it, track it, or target it. That was the entire point. That was why we spent $1.7 trillion on this program. And Iran, a country we were told has a degraded, decimated, destroyed military, just tracked an F-35 and hit it with a surface-to-air missile. Either the stealth technology doesn't work as advertised, or Iranian air defense capabilities are far more advanced than the Trump administration has been telling us. Either way, the implications are devastating. If stealth doesn't protect our aircraft, then every air mission over hostile territory becomes exponentially more dangerous. Pilots who were told they would be invisible are actually flying into targeting solutions. The tactical assumptions underlying our entire air campaign are wrong. And if Iran still has functional air defenses despite Trump claiming they're all destroyed, then what else has he lied about? What other capabilities does Iran possess that we've been told don't exist? Let me play you what Donald Trump said today. Play this clip right here. Trump claimed that all of Iran's defenses are destroyed. All of them, destroyed. Hours later, an F-35 was shot. This is not a minor discrepancy. This is not a slight exaggeration. This is a fundamental lie about the state of the conflict that has direct implications for American lives. Pilots fly missions based on intelligence assessments. If they're told enemy air defenses are destroyed, they fly accordingly. They take routes they wouldn't take if defenses were active. They fly at altitudes they wouldn't fly at if missiles were a threat. They make tactical decisions based on the information they're given. When the President of the United States tells the world that Iranian air defenses are destroyed, and they're not, he's not just lying to the public, he's potentially getting pilots killed. The pilot who was shot today may have flown that mission believing the threat was lower than it actually was. The tactical planners who approved that mission may have calculated risk based on assessments that turned out to be false. The chain of decisions that put that F-35 in the path of an Iranian missile started with lies from the top. This is not a game. This is not reality television. Real Americans are flying real aircraft into real danger based on information from a commander-in-chief who either doesn't know what's happening or doesn't care about telling the truth. Let me talk about money for a moment because American taxpayers deserve to understand what they're paying for. Each F-35 costs approximately $80 million. That's the aircraft alone. When you factor in maintenance, support equipment, training, and operational costs, the lifetime expense of a single F-35 is estimated at over $300 million. $300 million of American taxpayer money just took Iranian anti-aircraft fire. We don't know yet how badly the aircraft is damaged. We don't know if it can be repaired or if it's a total loss. But either way, this incident represents a massive financial blow on top of the strategic implications. And here's the question nobody in the Trump administration wants to answer. How many more can we afford to lose? The entire F-35 program includes approximately 2,500 planned aircraft. If Iranian air defenses can hit them, if the stealth technology isn't providing the protection we were promised, then every single one of those aircraft is more vulnerable than we believed. How many $80 million planes are we going to sacrifice in this war? How many $300 million lifetime investments are going to be shot down by a country we were told couldn't fight back? The defense contractors who built the F-35, who made billions promising invincibility, are they going to refund the American taxpayers? Are they going to explain why their stealth aircraft got detected and hit? Of course not. They'll blame operational errors. They'll claim the pilot made a mistake. They'll do anything except admit that the technology they sold us doesn't work as advertised. This F-35 incident doesn't exist in isolation. It's part of a pattern of failure and lies that has characterized this entire war. We were told Iranian missile capabilities were degraded by 90%. Then Iranian missiles hit Ben Gurion Airport, killed over 1,000 Israeli soldiers, struck the world's largest LNG facility. And now they've shot an F-35. We were told Iranian leadership was decapitated. Then a new supreme leader emerged who is even more hardline than his predecessor and who has rejected every ceasefire proposal. We were told the Iranian people would rise up against their government. Instead, massive rallies are chanting death to America and demanding vengeance. We were told this war would be quick. We're now weeks into a conflict with no end in sight and escalation continuing in every direction. Every single thing the Trump administration told us about this war has been wrong. Every single promise has been broken. Every single assurance has been proven false, and now American pilots are being shot. Let me take a moment to talk about the pilot because in all the strategic analysis, we cannot forget that a real human being was in that aircraft. An American service member, someone's son or daughter, someone's spouse, someone's parent, flew a combat mission over hostile territory and took enemy fire. That person is now in a medical facility somewhere being treated for injuries we don't fully know the extent of. That pilot volunteered to serve their country. That pilot trained for years to fly the most advanced aircraft in the world. That pilot trusted that the intelligence they were given was accurate, that the technology they depended on would protect them, that the mission they were assigned was based on reality, and that pilot was let down. Let down by a commander-in-chief who lies about the battlefield situation. Let down by a military-industrial complex that oversold its technology. Let down by a political establishment that started a war without understanding the enemy. How many more pilots will be shot before this is over? How many more families will get that phone call? How many more flag-draped coffins will return to Dover Air Force Base? These are the questions that Donald Trump should be answering instead of posting on Truth Social about how everything is going great. And I cannot let this video end without mentioning what one IRG fighter reportedly said when launching a missile at Israel. Play this clip right here. For the victims of Epstein Island, we target the idol of Baal. Now, Iran is using propaganda. Iran is trying to exploit American scandals for their own purposes. But the fact that Epstein Island is being invoked in the middle of this war tells you something about how the world perceives what's happening in Washington. The Epstein files have not gone away. The connections between Epstein and powerful figures have not been explained, and many people, including apparently Iranian propagandists, believe this entire war is connected to covering up what's in those files. I'm not saying that's true. I'm saying that's the perception, and perception matters. When your enemies are mocking you with your own scandals while shooting down your best aircraft, something has gone very, very wrong. That's where we're at right now, folks. For the first time in history, an American F-35 has been hit by enemy fire. The most advanced aircraft in the world, the $80 million stealth fighter, was shot by Iranian air defenses that Donald Trump claimed were completely destroyed. The pilot survived, thank God, but the implications of this incident are devastating. Our technology isn't working as promised, our intelligence is wrong, our president is lying, and American service members are paying the price. We've got to follow the facts together, we've got to be honest about what's happening, we've got to demand accountability from the people who started this war and are now getting Americans shot. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should we be continuing this war when our best aircraft are being hit? Should we believe anything the Trump administration tells us? Hit subscribe. We're trying to get to 6 million subscribers. Share this with everyone who needs to see the truth about what's happening to our military. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for updates as this situation develops. Thanks for watching.